Hey everyone, and welcome to the top 5 defenders video. The goalkeepers video came out yesterday, so if you haven't seen that yet, go back and watch that. But we're moving on to the defenders, continuing to move up the field. Before we start, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We're getting close to 500 subscribers. It'd be nice to hit that number before the season starts, because that's generally when most of the subscribers come, is the preseason. So it'd be great to hit that milestone before the season starts. But without further ado, we'll get going. And in my draft, I have 4 out of these 5 players. I chose to go defensively heavy just because so many points do come from the defense in this, as there are half clean sheets in this game, as well as tackle block assists and stuff like that. But let's take a look at what we've got. So the first one I have here is Adam Marusic, who's 5.0 defender from Lazio, captained the team a couple games last year, and was a regular starter in the lineup. 5.0 price tag is significantly cheaper than most of the big name defenders on the other big teams. Most of them are 6.0 and above. But Lazio has really good fixtures to start. I would say probably 4 or 5 out of the first 6 fixtures are what you might consider easier fixtures. Obviously, Serie is a very competitive league now, and it seems that any team can beat any team on a given day. But if you're kind of looking along what you would look at on Fantasy Premier League, the FDR, the fixture ticker, Lazio, I think, would be seen to have one of the better ones, and we will have a full video on the opening fixtures coming up in the future. But that's why I would consider a Lazio defender right now, and I would probably pick Marusic out of all of them. Coming in at number 4 is Danilo. I had him at number 1 last year, but the Juve defense, ever since they lost their big 3, which used to be Chiellini, Bonucci, Barzagli back then, their defense, it's still been okay, but has not been as strong as the stereotypical Juve fortress on defense that they used to have. But these defenders do seem a little more attacking than they used to be in both Danilo and Bremer. Bremer's price is 7.0, so I've chosen Danilo, who's kind of similarly attacking, basically is playing every game. And so that's why I've chosen him over Bremer's, just to save that 0.4 and use that elsewhere. He otherwise, like, 6.6 is kind of expensive, but I do want someone in the Juve defense. You could pick Gatti, I'd say a little less attacking. Last year, as we saw, has that own goal threat, which you definitely don't want. And just isn't as experienced, may experience a little bit more rotation than someone like Danilo would. Now, what we're going to see, number 3 and number 2, we're going to see 2 different Inter defenders. And for one reason, Alessandro Bastoni. Now, he's the Inter defender that I would pick if you want to. Do I have the price right here? Is he 6.0 or 6.6? That might be 6.6. I need to double check that. But if you're backing the Inter clean sheets, then I'd say Bastoni is one, because he will play the 90 minutes. Remember, if they get subbed at all, then you're going to miss out on that half clean sheet. Obviously, if they play the full first half, regardless, they'll get that half clean sheet. But let's say that they still haven't allowed a goal, but in the 89th minute, the defender gets subbed. Well, you don't get that second half clean sheet. It's not like the playing 60 minutes that the Premier League has. So the wing backs for Inter generally do get subbed at some point. They have the goal threat, but they generally don't get that second clean sheet. So I'd say Bastoni is one if you're backing that Inter's not going to be allowing many goals, might not get as many attacking returns, but at least you're probably banking on those clean sheets. It still is a little bit expensive for that, but I'd say that he is the one to back in that case. Once again, just double check that. I hope that I have that price right, but it might be wrong. It might be 6.6 instead. This would be my option for if you want to back more the attacking returns. I would go with Denzel Dumfries. Now, last year and in my original draft, I had DeMarco. I have switched to Dumfries. He looked pretty good in Euro. Now, we need to make sure that he's going to be starting if the manager says that he's had enough rest since Euro before the start of the season. So we'll kind of see what's happening in friendlies. because that might impact whether I'm going with DeMarco or Dumfries. But I do like to try to back the attacking returns. Now, last year with DeMarco, Dumfries was used very similar to DeMarco. They normally got substituted in around the 60th minute, 70th minute, something like that. So you generally get the first half clean sheet and then hope that you get attacking returns on top of that. Whereas someone like Bastoni, you're probably not getting attacking returns, but they're probably safe to play the full 90 minutes. So there's a little bit more rotation risk or sub risk with Dumfries, but if you like that more exciting, hopefully going for attacking returns like assists, perhaps goals, I'd say Dumfries is the option there. So it really depends what you want to back. You want to back more of the defensive style points or the attacking style points, but I think you can't go wrong with either of those options. Again, Dumfries is the 6.0 price tag for sure. DeMarco is 6.6, and that's why I went down, saving that 0.6 there. And the number one defender I'd say to back, I didn't include him in my list last year because I thought he was too expensive, but he lived up to the price tag for the most part. Theo Hernandez, I'd say would be probably the best defender to start with. Very attacking, plays the full 90 minutes most games, sometimes on penalties. And actually, I wouldn't say he's too expensive anymore. I would say he's back. I meant to put isn't here, but I would definitely say that Theo Hernandez is worth getting. He's almost locked into my squad, even at 7.0. He's like your Trent Alexander-Arnold for Premier League if you're wanting to kind of make that comparison. But I would definitely consider having Theo Hernandez in your squad to start. And the good thing is, if he's not meeting that price point, well, selling him is easy because you can sell him to any defender in the game. He is the only defender listed. Actually, no, Bremer is also listed at 7.0. But no one's listed higher than that. So you can move from Theo Hernandez to any other defender in the game. And then you'd be banking money to move that money elsewhere if you need. But this is my top 5 defenders. Sorry for a little bit of typos in here. I don't know what to have. Just double check on the price of Bastoni. And I have Theo Hernandez in my team, so ignore that first bullet point. Other than that, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. Let's get to that 500 subscribers mark. I'd really appreciate that. And we'll keep things going for the midfielders coming shortly. Take care.